Hi everybody, today I am joined by the wonderful Katie McGroarty, and she's going to give us a wee bit of information about why she is creative and where it all began. So how are you today, Katie?
Yeah, I'm all good. Yeah, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, Would you like to start by just telling us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, I'm an artist from the Vale of Leven in Western Bartonshire, and I've just graduated from the Edinburgh College of Art at the University of Edinburgh in Edinburgh, and I'm back in Western Bartonshire because well, I was going to come back anyway, but definitely because COVID really sped up that process.
So what were you studying at Edinburgh?
So I studied intermedia, which is a kind of branch off of fine art. And so if you studied painting, for instance, you'd kind of have to paint. If you did sculpture, you'd have to sculpt. Intermedia is just you get the idea, and then whatever is appropriate to use for that idea, then you just go with that. You're not kind of confined by anything.
That sounds really interesting. What made you decide to follow that path?
I think I just always enjoyed drawing, just making stuff. I remember doing it a lot when I was wee. My mum really encouraged it as well because I think it was cheap. When I got into high school, I really found that I really did enjoy it, and I think I was getting a lot of praise for it as well. So I was like, I'm going to keep doing this. I'm getting a lot of praise for it. Then I went to college after high school, and then tried my luck to get into art school and got in.
That's great. That's good. It sounds like you've had good encouragement throughout the years as well to do what you love. So that's always it's the scary part. I think sometimes are pupils when they don't know what to do, that they maybe don't always have a great support system. So it's great to hear that you have.
Yeah, I feel really lucky to have it, especially because going into the arts is maybe not like a very like common job to have. So I'm very lucky to have people just going, just try it, just see what happens, just go and just try it.
Now you have a very interesting theme or topic choice for your graduating show. Do you want to tell us a wee bit more about that?
Obviously, the physical degree show was cancelled because of COVID, which is totally justifiable, absolutely understandable, wasn't safe. And then the online degree show from the ECA, the Edinburgh College of Art, was just like not accessible. It was glitchy. A lot of people's profiles were missing after the final hand-in. So like you hand in like your work that your degree is going to be based on. They asked us to like resubmit again to be in the online degree show. And by this point, my brain had like already checked out. I was like, no, I'm done with uni. I'm not submitting anything again. So it was a bit of a mess. The whole online degree show, the whole website. So a few of us, I think it was 17 of us in total, let's just make our own one. And so, yeah, we made our own degree show, online degree show called Alt D, just alternative degree show. Yeah, that's up. It's the websites went live on the 10th, and we're all exhibiting physically together. I think it's the 5th until the 18th of September in Hoyk down at the Borders. It's been a lot of work, definitely a lot of work, but it's been really, really, really rewarding, and it's just nice to everyone coming together after graduation and helping each other and making sure that all of our work's celebrated and all of our hard work is celebrated, and it's got like a good platform to be showcased on and something that we've all made together and are really proud of, to show work that we're really proud of as well.
I had a wee nosy. I had a very long nosy through your Aldi website, and it's fantastic. I really liked the wee blurbs that you have next to your piece. Could you tell us a wee bit about the inspiration behind the theme to your work?
One of the big themes in my work is identity and belonging, and what happens when we don't feel like we belong, and a big one is social class as well. When I went to uni, I was surrounded by a lot of people who knew each other from the private schools they attended, and it became quite apparent quite quickly that the arts are kind of infamous for being very expensive to go into. For instance, like you'll be expected to do like a lot of free, like unpaid work or unpaid internships, or work for free or work for exposure and this kind of stuff. But then a lot of people's their mums and dads are already in the arts, already established, so they were giving them kind of helping hands, which is, there's nothing wrong with that. But my whole year group was mostly made up of people from quite affluent backgrounds, and it just didn't reflect like who I knew wanted to go into the arts, and the people that I knew that were really talented. And from that as well, like I started to feel like I could either have to be like one or the other. Like I could either be from Western Bartonshire and be like my normal self, or be like this like art school person. And then I kind of came to the conclusion like, well, I am both, so I'm gonna have to just be both. I don't really have a choice. But yeah, that's what all my work's about. And my degree show piece that was made for the physical degree show, which obviously didn't happen, was a piece called You're Not Invited. I think it's the first day or the second day of the degree show is for like all the kind of sponsors and the people that can give you funding and grants and things, but it's all kind of steeped in this kind of elitism. There's still a lot of racism that goes on, a lot of transphobia and things as well. And I just thought, like, we're just better than this, man. Like, we can do better. We should make our own thing and just not invite them and just tell them they're not allowed in. So that's what I did with this little tiny post-it note. I think it still does kind of work within the context of the online degree show that we made. But part of why I didn't want to submit as well to the ECA online degree show was I was just a bit scunnered and was like, I'm sick and tired of just giving you work all the time. Like, whenever you ask for it, I didn't feel like I was getting a lot back, and I felt like my energy could be better spent elsewhere. And so then when the Alt D show came along, they're like, okay, does anyone else want to do this? I was like, yes, I really want to do that. I was like, this is right up my street. I love this. So yeah, it's kind of all kind of played out quite well for me.
Yeah, well done you for being brave enough to
Thank
do that.
you.
It'll be great to see how the physical show turns out as well for you.
Coming to the end of the planning stage, so what it's going to be is because people can't travel because of COVID, or a lot of people are international students. So what we've done is everyone just sent pictures of their work, and we're all going to, like, we've made these posters and we're going to put them all up, and there's restrictions about how many people can be in the gallery, which is again fair enough. It's just nice that we didn't get a degree show, a physical one in the ECA, and in our one we've kind of been able to put it together and done everything ourselves and contacted other people ourselves and stuff, and got a lot of really generous donations from people as well who want to see our degree show happen, and that's really lovely as well.
Other than that, what does the future hold for Katie McGroarty?
I don't know. Right now I'm just kind of, my plan like pre-corona was just to graduate and just kind of like cruise for a while, like get a job in Edinburgh, and then I was meant to start teaching in September, and that's been put off because like funding things, and like I hope that I get to do more of the Alt D stuff, because it's going to go on for a little while. We've been talking about what we're going to do with it next year, and if we're going to hand it down to the year below us, because we don't know what their degree show is going to be like either, and if we already have an established platform, it'd be a good idea to give it down to them. Also, things like I sell a lot of my work, so I'd like to continue selling it, which is really lovely when people are like, I want to pay for this, and I'm like, really?
Do you have any advice for kids in West Marchshire that are interested in pursuing a career or extended learning in the arts and creative?
The thing that has helped me recently, or in the last couple of years, was I didn't know about all these like Facebook groups, things like Women in the Arts Scotland, Girls That Make Stuff, Creative West and Bartonshire, the Helensburgh Art Hub, like all these things. And they're not just good for like showing your work, they're good for being like, I'm pricing this at X amount, do you think that's too much? And people will get back to you, and it's a lot of people as well who have a lot of experience and a kind of wealth of wisdom, and they're just kind of really lovely people, and they'll just give you advice, so you're not having to sit and stress about it, because a lot of time people have been in the arts for a long time, and what is a huge problem to you is like a tiny thing to them now, because they're like, I've done this a million times, I know what the protocol is. Women in the Arts Scotland do like a Friday where you can like show your new work Friday, and so I think what I'm really saying is just like find a community, and even if it is online, or even if it's not like a niche thing, if it's a really open thing, that also means like you get to see a lot of like a whole wealth of work, and especially if you are young, you don't really know what you're into yet or what your style is yet, you can see like so much stuff being made, and a lot of kind of work in progress pictures as well, which I think is really important, because people often see the final piece and think, I couldn't have done that. Whereas if you see work in progress things, you're like, oh, it started off like this tiny thing, and now it's this big, really impressive thing.
Yeah.
Also, I think just start, like so many people, whenever I came home from Edinburgh, I'd go in the pub and they'd be like, oh, what are you doing? I'd be like, oh, I'm studying art, and people would always go, I was really good at that, but I stopped doing it. or I didn't think I would get anywhere. Like, you don't need to get anywhere, like, just do it because you enjoy it. Not everything's about, you know, getting anywhere with it. You can do things just because you enjoy them.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's great, Katie. Thank you so much for talking to us today. Thoroughly
No
enjoyed
worries.
having a wee nosy about, seeing what you're up to, and we really hope that your online and physical show goes really well, and best of luck for the future.
Oh, thank you very much.
Please keep us posted on what you're up to, because we do love to showcase the talents of Western Bartonshire.
I will do. I definitely will. You'll not get rid of me.
Excellent. Thank you, Katie.
Thank
See you
you.
later.
See you
Bye.
later.